Hi, welcome to WikiSim. My name is James, or AJP. WikiSim is a public space for data, calculations, and simulations. It's a Wikipedia for imagining futures that actually add up. So as an example of this is a question that my friend added last weekend, which is how many neurologists do we need to meet UK government healthcare guidelines? So if you click on that link, you'll go to this page. And as it says here, it's still a draft, work in progress, because it's only got one condition in it at the moment. But for that one condition, we would need 65 full-time neurologists. And this calculation is referencing various other bits of data. So how many people are diagnosed in the UK with this condition every day? And it's about 19. How many people in the UK have this condition? It's about 150,000. And how often per year should they be reviewed? So it's about once per year. There's a couple of other data points in here as well. So new appointment length of 30 minutes. So that's how long they should be seen initially. And then the follow-up appointment length of 15 minutes. So once per year, they should be seen for 15 minutes. And you, or a politician or a political assistant, might come to this page and say, well, you know what? That 30-minute initial appointment, that's too short. It should be 60 minutes. And now the number you'd need of full-time neurologists goes up to 71. And maybe that's an okay policy. Maybe that works. What about this 15 minutes? Nah, that's too short. It should be 30 minutes once per year. Now you'd need 130 neurologists. Now we only have 850 or so neurologists in the UK. Maybe you could make that work. Maybe you could reprioritize and make other conditions be seen less, but at least you've got a very quick way of sense checking whether a policy actually makes sense or not. And so this brings us on to the first why of WikiSim, is to help our leaders to avoid writing checks they can't cash. So to make it easier for us and for them to figure out what's going on and what kind of plans will actually add up. When these calculations get too complex or they start feeding back into themselves, maybe they're unintuitive or you want to visualize them, this is when you could start wrapping them in a visualization or a simulation. And so this is an example of Energy Explorer. This is still a prototype, so some things aren't yet correct in it, like the cost, and it doesn't factor in the grid. But if you click play, it will load up and it will show you this screen here. So we're just going to select the UK. And whilst this is loading up the data, I'll just explain the motivation for this. So I've been having conversations with various people over the last maybe 5 years, and some saying solar's amazing, it can do everything, and other people saying solar's useless, I don't know why we're building it. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the answer is, so let's just get the data together and get a rough ballpark figure for what that answer would be. Is it useful? Is it not useful? And the same for wind as well. And so here you've got the real demand data for the whole of 2018 for the UK, so the amount of electricity that was being used per hour, as well as how much energy you get by building a wind turbine in different places. So here we've put down two 20 gigawatt arrays, which might seem like a lot, but we've actually already got 30 installed in the UK. We've also put down quite a lot of pumped hydro storage. But here you can see this is the day is now dawning, and this is how much energy you get from solar throughout that day. And the same for wind. This is what would happen if you had built a wind turbine in different locations. And so this brings us on to like the second why of WikiSim, which is just to help reduce the noise, right? Reduce the temperature and increase convergence between groups which are otherwise quite far apart. In this case, I gave it to people who are saying solar is useless and it can't do anything, and other people are saying solar is amazing and it can do everything. And without me saying anything, they played it for 5-10 minutes, and then they came much more into the middle. Solar's, it's good at some stuff during the summer, and during the winter, it's a lot harder to use solar. But I didn't tell them what to think. They just had 5 minutes of playing. It was fun. It was fact-driven. Let's do more of that. So please get involved. It's at wikisim.org. You can add data and calculations. That's easy or very easy. You can build a simulation. That's quite a bit harder. Or you can help build WikiSim itself. Thank you very much.